Hello, welcome back to Time in the UK. Time to lift the lid on another watch, and this time it's a Tudor. Let's get the box out and get it opened up and see what we've picked up. As you can see, it comes in the usual Tudor packaging, and I've gone for something a little bit different this time. And I managed to get this one with all of the relevant paperwork. And it comes in an unworn condition, which is a bit of a result, isn't it? It's still got all of its stickers on. So it looks like we're going to get to do a bit of sticker peeling. And you can see we've got the milled clasp and a few stickers. So what is this watch? It's a Tudor Ranger. I believe it's a Tudor Heritage Ranger. Okay, so this now discontinued watch was released in 2014 to quite positive reviews at the time. I'm really unsure about the sales figures on this one. I don't know how many actually sold, but personally I really do like the retro styling of this particular piece. It's clear, concise, easy to read, easy to set. It's fairly straightforward and simple to use. So in short, the Tudor Ranger is a pure tool watch, and it comes in at 41mm wide with a 48mm lug to lug, and it's 12mm thick. It also has 22mm lug width, and the lugs are pierced with little holes in there so you can get the straps in and out. Quite straightforward, really. This watch was discontinued by Tudor in mid-2020, leaving some people to believe that the brand would relaunch with a smaller case and an in-house movement. But this has not been the case thus far. Watch this space. Maybe Tudor will do something like that. For me, the Tudor Ranger seems to have flown under most people's radar. It's not, since it's a modern reissue and it was put out a few years ago, it doesn't seem to have really been in your face on Instagram or anything like that. It doesn't seem to have really been in front of a lot of people. It seems as if it's the black sheep of the Tudor sports watch family. It doesn't really ever have picked up a lot of attention and a big market crowd. Again, as I've said before, I really wonder what the sales figures are. Obviously, if they're selling it like hotcakes, it would still be made now, so I speculate that it is not really a good seller. And that's possibly due to the fact it's 41mm. To be honest, initially when you do get the watch on wrist, it does look a bit big, but after wearing it for a little while, that sort of goes away, and it gets settles in there, and it gets, you get comfortable with it, and it doesn't look big or it doesn't look wrong. What really sells this watch for me, what really makes me enjoy wearing it are the details of the dial. When it comes to a Ranger, obviously legibility is key. The 12, 3, 6 and 9 on the dial are easily readable in just about any light, and due to the contrast between the numerals and the matte black dial, and add to that the fact that the numerals and the hour markers are heavily painted and almost pop out of the dial like applied markers, what looks like a flat dial at first glance actually has lots of depth. The Tudor Rose logo is displayed at 12 o'clock, and it was the last watch from Tudor to be offered with a rose logo on the dial, and this kind of adds a touch of something, and maybe a nod to Tudor's history. And it's something that a lot of people wish they would have continued using on their dials. As far as I can tell, the rose logo is only embossed on the crowns of some other watches, but the entire dial layout is like that of the original Ranger, right down to the dial text at 6 o'clock that reads a similar a smiling, if you like, rotor, self-winding. The hour and minute hands are also carried over from, style-wise anyway, from the original Ranger, and the only change to the handset is the second hand, which has been painted red, but it does add a nice pop of colour and pairs well with the yellowish paint of the dial and the marker text. The case of the Ranger is straightforward, with brushed sides and a fixed bezel and a polished chamfered bezel edge. Well, I've been going on about how fantastic this watch is, but why did Tudor abandon it? Well, I can't say that I've been on any board meetings or sales meetings for Tudor. I've never seen a ton of Ranger owners on the internet or anyone really talking about it, so I can only imagine that it just didn't sell well and may have fallen to the wayside for that reason. Obviously, it came in before Tudor released their Black Bay series, which have been selling like hotcakes. And so if you've got low sales, that's probably why they've never innovated on the platform, never strayed from the ETA in-house movement, like some of the other watches in the Tudor range. But for me, that's a crying shame. I personally think that we may, at some point over the next 10 years, see a little bit of a resurgence in this one. This one may pop up as being a little bit more popular. Possibly on the used market, we might get a reissue again, purely because it's a great alternative to the steel sports watches by Rolex, the Explorer for one. So if you can't afford to sell a couple of kidneys or an arm and a leg to get yourself an Explorer, maybe you could find one of these. ETA powered, fantastic build quality, Tudor name all over it. Ticks every box for me.